Hey everybody, today I wanted to make a video, an unboxing of the new CZ Shadow 2, and I guess it's not going to be an official unboxing because I have taken this gun out several times to shoot. I've had it for about 2 or 3 weeks now. But what I did want to go over is basically everything that comes with this gun in the box and show you a little bit more about it. So it comes with the CZ box with the gold clasps on there. And as we open it up, I can't really pan it all with the whole camera, but you see the gun obviously. It comes with a bunch of pieces which I'll go through. Cleaning brush and a cleaning rod. It comes with 3 CZ factory magazines. It has the CZ logo on the front. For whatever reason it says 40 caliber on the one side, and then 9 on this side. This is a 9mm handgun. So 1, 2, and then the third one comes in the gun. The gun is safe and clear, just so we know. Now, CZ, they came out with 3 different variants, from what I could tell, released to the United States. They have what's called the Shadow 2, which is the one that we've seen a lot on videos. And on pictures, and that's the one that is black with the blue grips. This one right here is called the Shadow 2 Black, and then the third one is the Shadow 2 Urban Gray. Now, I had a little bit of confusion when I was researching this. This gun right here and the Urban Gray come in at a price point, I can't remember off the top of my head, but essentially the other one costs $100 more, and my confusion was, what's the difference between them? What's the $100 difference, right? And this one and the Urban Gray have the poly coat, which is, I guess, a Cerakote type of a thing that CZ does, where the other one that costs more does not. They all have the nitride finish. And this one and the Urban Gray have the poly coat on the frame on top of that nitride finish. I hope you can see from this video that there is a slight difference in the finish between the frame and the slide. And the slide is the nitride. I'd assume that all 3 models have the identical slide, but then the poly coat is on the frame, and you could see how it's black here versus that blued type of a finish that we have on the slide. From the folks at CZ Custom where I bought this gun, what I gathered is the frame costs more on the other guns because they want to pick out frames that are finished a little nicer, or they might have some extra machining processes that have minor flaws in them to make the gun look nice and smooth. They say when they throw that poly coat on here, what it does is covers that up. So I think minus that extra finishing step, that's where your $100 go if you were to buy that more expensive gun. But nonetheless, the nitride finish is underneath this poly coat, so it's just another layer of protection is what you get there. So that's kind of the difference between the 3 models. Now, this gun is a single action, double action gun. Double action, single action. And this gun, before I get ahead of myself, I had the trigger work done from CZ Custom. So this does not have a factory trigger in there. And I actually am going to make a separate video going specifically over that CZ Custom trigger, so I'm not going to do too much regarding the trigger pull and things of that nature on this video, just because it is not the CZ Shadow 2 factory trigger in there. But if you are interested, you can check that other video. Looking at the gun itself, all 3 have this aluminum grip on the side, on either side. Like I said, they have different colors depending which model that you get, but they're all essentially the same. Nice and grippy. Within the box, we'll go through, once again, with CZ Custom, they have a little piece of paper here that I got, and it goes a little bit more into the safety because of the trigger work that they do. I guess that they add that in there. Also, you get the lock that comes with the gun. Little card right there, warranty information and such. 5-year warranty type of a deal, and then the manual for the gun as well, in many languages. Also, this is my original trigger parts right here. Once again, I'll go into this a little bit more detail in another video, but this is the original package that comes with the CZ gun as far as the trigger components are concerned. CZ Custom, after doing the trigger work, had just sent that in a baggie, so that's a little bit extra as opposed to the factory. Right here we have an extended safety, which I haven't installed. You can see that that safety is kind of extended just on the left side of the gun. It comes with the more flat safety installed when you get it, and then the second one, obviously you can see how it sticks out a little bit more. Buffers, it comes with several different buffers of different thicknesses, and then it comes with some Allen wrenches to take the gun apart and everything. So that's essentially what you get there. One thing I want to go over, I had bought additional magazines from Mec-Gar, and this one right here, you can see it's a little dirty. This is one I've been shooting with, and this is a Mec-Gar magazine versus the CZ, virtually identical. I'm pretty sure that Mec-Gar makes all the factory magazines for CZ, but you can see the Mec-Gar says made in Italy on theirs, and the CZ has the little CZ emblem on the front. Once again, it says 40 on the one side, the Mec-Gar doesn't. But as far as the mags, they're essentially identical. So if you need to get extra mags and want to save a buck or two, the Mec-Gar, they look like they're the exact same thing. Now, I don't have an original CZ Shadow 1 to compare it to, but some of the differences that they've done when they built this gun, they say from the ground up, is it has a higher cut at the beaver tail, so you can get a higher purchase with your hand closer to the bore. You also see that there's a deeper cut underneath the trigger, and it's even cut in a little bit in front of the trigger guard. As far as checkering, they have really aggressive grippy texturing in the front of the grip as well as the back, so that's pretty handy. I'm used to shooting a Glock with grip tape, and this is a pretty darn grippy gun. I have no complaints there. You could also see in the front of the trigger guard there, they had put some serrations in as well, I guess if you're shooting with your finger in the front of the trigger guard like some folks do. As far as the sights are concerned, it comes with an adjustable height rear sight and then a fiber optic front sight. You see the sight picture here, if I can get a good picture of it for you. And you can see that there are the serrations in that rear sight to cut down on glare. Another improvement that CZ had done with the Shadow 2 over the Shadow 1 is you can tell that they have changed the serrations in the slide. A lot more aggressive, also not just in the rear but also in the front, so it makes cycling that slide from the front a little bit more efficient. Secondly, the magazine release, let me hold it from the side, and you can see that that magazine release sticks out quite a bit. I've read online that some people had an issue where when they were going to get a good purchase or a grip on the gun that they were accidentally hitting that and kicking the magazine out. I tell you what, I've shot this gun quite a bit. I've done some dry fire training with it as well, and it's never been an issue for me, so I think it just may be depending on exactly how you grip the gun. Now you can also see that there's a little torque wrench type of a screw in there. Now I had read that you can adjust this, and I think I initially took it as if you can play with the depth and how far that magazine release sticks out of the back of the, or out of the side of the slide, but that's not the case. The adjustability that they have built into this, if you unscrew this little torque wrench, what happens is you can play with the cant of that button. So this is in the middle position right here, and you can see that the orientation of the mag release is just a little bit upward, and so I didn't play with it to see exactly how it will line up, but basically if this is the middle, you can adjust it down one position, which will be more parallel, I'd assume, and then the last one is where it would be at more of an upward angle, we can say. So that is the adjustability that they have built in. When you take it, the underside of this, the metal piece right here basically has 3 little notches, and there's a post built into the frame of the gun. So as you remove that, you can shift it up or down. It just holds that steady position, whether you like it as is up or down. But as I had mentioned, the position that I have this magazine release is factory, and it's basically in the middle setting, and I'm fine with it. As far as weight is concerned, I don't have the paperwork in front of me to know what they advertise the weight is, which I'm sure you could look online, but as I throw this on the scale, 2 pounds 11 1/8 ounces is what it comes in at. Once again, I'm coming from a Glock 34, and this gun is heavy. Feels like a brick comparatively, but it really does help with the recoil. There's a lot of weight on the front end as well, so it took a little bit just getting used to the balance of the gun compared to that Glock, but after shooting it for a while, very, very controllable recoil, so I am happy with it. It's just different than what I'm used to. But the more I shoot it, the more I begin to fall in love with this thing. So they've done a really good job with that. And so next I'm going to break the gun down. It comes down like all CZs, where you line up the 2 lines in the back right there. And as you do, you just kick out the slide catch. And the gun just breaks on down. Here's the inside of the gun. And then, as I mentioned, the gun had come with a buffer already installed. I know some people like shooting with them, some don't. They do have different sizes. I don't know if this gun comes with a buffer installed or if that was done at CZ Custom when they did the trigger work. I couldn't tell you, but that's the way that it was, and I've kept it the same. Pull that out. You got your recoil spring and then a steel guide rod that sits inside. Your typical CZ barrel. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Being more of a target gun, the Shadow line and the Shadow 2, they don't have a firing pin block, and that's to hopefully make that trigger a little bit smoother, or there's one less step when you pull the trigger as far as cleaning up the trigger pull there. So that's pretty much it. I'll give you maybe some closer shots. You see that aluminum grip right there. It's a good once over of the gun. And as I mentioned, this hammer right here is not factory, but we'll go over the hammer and the trigger tuning and the job that they did at CZ Custom on a different video. So thanks for watching the video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot a post or any questions or comments below the video.